Olympian, not only a great champion, but a great man. A man who is an icon of the struggle for justice, for people of colour and for the downtrodden of all colours, and who made a stand which many of you who I can see are far too young to have known at the time. But let me address those of d'un certain âge, of my age or older. I was 14 when John Carlos made this stand, and those of us who were committed to that stand will literally never forget how we felt that moment as we saw this great man, this great champion, with that black glove, raising that fist and asserting the power of the fight for justice for black people. We will never forget it, and neither, I think, has he. I asked him.
Now, Robin Hood impressed the heck out of me, and not only did he impress the heck out of John Carlos, any person that was down on their luck, any person that was being oppressed, any person that was born in a ghetto or barrio, Robin Hood was their hero. Whether he was fictitious or whether he was real, he was their hero. He was definitely my hero. Two detectives, two black detectives that was in Harlem that knew my father, because my father at the end on the weekends he used to have the poker game and the crap game. And all the baseball players, all the police that was there, they would come to the games. These two detectives, Mr. Lester and Mr. Brown. Mr. Lester was about 6 feet tall, Mr. Brown was about 6'6". And they went to my father and they said, Earl, it's been some break-ins and we believe that John is doing these break-ins and you need to tell him. My father was the type of guy, he stopped him, he said, nah, you need to tell him. He's over there in McCoon's Park, which was right across the street from the Yankee Stadium, where they built the new Yankee Stadium, matter of fact. They went over there, they blocked the whole park off, they found me and two of my partners in there, and they told my buddies, go sit up against that fence. Johnny, you get in the middle of the field, we didn't want to talk to you. And I'm telling you this to tell you about how God got me to Mexico. So they rolled up on me and they said, listen, we got a few things to tell you. There's been some break-ins. We think we know who's doing it. We can't do anything to them until we catch them. And then they leaned up into my face real close and said, and we gonna catch them too. And then Mr. Bryan said, well, Mr. Lester has something else he wanted to tell you. And Mr. Lester looked at me, he told me, he said, well, John, you have a talent. And I looked at him like, what talent do I have? Now I knew I was a good boxer, I knew I was a good swimmer, I knew I could play basketball. But what talent are you talking about? You're a runner. And when he said I was a runner, I smirked. And Mr. Bryan smacked me on the left side, the right side of my head, and his fingers actually came off on the left side. That's how big this man was. Don't you ever disrespect Mr. Lester. I said, I'm not disrespecting Mr. Lester. But he said, I'm a runner. And I said, I'm not nobody special as a runner. I said, because I remember when he said that, my mom used to work at Bellevue Hospital at night. She came home from work one night, her stockings was all torn up, her legs was bleeding. Me and my brothers, my father, everybody was a little upset because somebody grabbed my mom's purse that night, snatched her purse. And when we was concerned about her, and my mother said, everything's all right, we just get some Curacone, whatever that stuff was, and fix it up. She said, but I got my purse back. Yeah.
It's got to say that in the immediate aftermath of you making this statement, there was so much negative publicity about it. At any point did you think that the message hadn't been heard or that it wasn't worth doing? And when did you see some sort of change or awareness of what you'd done was making an impact?
That's a very good question. All right, look here. Let's walk through this. We did the demonstration, right? The first day we did the demonstration, the next morning when the papers came out, they took all the papers out of the Olympic Village. Why did they take them out? Because they didn't want the athletes to see what the discussion was around the world. Second thing, this is the first time the Olympic Games had ever been televised worldwide. What we did, the demonstration we did was never ever done on the face of the earth that we know of. Nobody never seen anything like what we did. Those that was in the stadium had it right close, dead up in their face. Those that had it on TV had it even closer up in their face. That brings shock when you see something that you never ever experienced in your life before. It brings fear to everybody. And then you remember, you ever go to the movies and you see the movie screen here and the first feature is gone and then the movie is real quiet and everything is dark and then all of a sudden you see this word jump up, popcorn. As quick as it jumped up, it left, that quick. And you sit there and say, oh, I want some popcorn. You think you thought it. It's called a sublime. Well, those headlines that came out after everybody had the fear factor, they're anti-American, they're black raiders, black storm-skinned troopers, black neo-Nazis, they're anti-white, they want to blow up America, they want to destroy the Olympics. Those things with the fear factor, man, just had everyone to automatically have an opinion as to who we were. They never got a chance to digest what took place before their eyes. They were being led with that carrot again. Now, why am I, as I stated earlier, an icon now? Because people had a chance to digest this thing and analyze it for themselves. It took 44 years, at least 35 years, before people started to wake up and realize that, hey man, there was a lot more to that demonstration than what they were trying to have us believe in the paper. Okay?
How did you feel?
Oh, on the way coming from the stand, the minute I was stepping off the stand, went through my whole body, man, just like, she's like a veil just went through my body. I'm a free man. They could never ever put chains on John Carlos again. When it comes to America, it's like this, man. I give love to America as you give love to England. But you say England, I'm the way I am because I don't see love coming back to me. As simple as that. It ain't about being white, ain't about being black, ain't about being Muslim, ain't about being Catholic, ain't about being rich, ain't about being poor, fat, skinny, good looking, or ugly. But what it is about, it's about right versus wrong. Simple as that. That's why we had a platform said Olympic Project for Human Rights. It's about being right to your fellow man. And if you're wrong, I'm in your face. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be there until I die, and wherever I go, I'm still carrying the fight on.
Well, I did tell you that you would be glad that you came here, proud that you were here, and you'll tell many others that you were here and you heard this great man. And I think from the applause, that's been fully vindicated.